What leads to a successful gap year?
Being deliberate and having a plan is essential to having a meaningful gap experience. You do not want to start your gap year not knowing what you want to do or not having a budget for it. So really, laying the groundwork your junior or senior year of high school is really important. And one of the ways you can do that is through looking at the American Gap Association website for some initial information. That's americangap.org. And you can also attend a regional gap year fair, which is run by USA Gap Year Fairs. And that's basically a college fair for gap year opportunities. So it's really exciting. And there's usually an overview speaker at the beginning of those fairs to give more information about how to, what is a gap year and what are the kinds of opportunities out there. So those kinds of research and options at the beginning of the planning stages are really good. Setting some 2 or 3 personal goals that a student can aim towards is a good way to start the planning, because then you're at least honing in a little bit. So if a student, for instance, has studied for 2 years of French and they want to expand on that learning experience, that will give them some direction about, okay, I should look for French immersion programs or maybe go to a Francophone country that I haven't been to yet. And that's a really nice way of starting it off. Or they can, based on an activity they've never had experience in and they want to experience. So that's another good way.
First of all, the clarity about what you want to try to accomplish from a goal standpoint, and then choosing the right program or series of experiences, I would say. Not so much, sometimes that's a program, sometimes it's coming up with your own experience. Like we had one student who took a semester to work and then took a semester hiking the Appalachian Trail. I think it's a matter of what the student chooses to do and being committed to it. And then being willing to change your mind and say, well, I thought I wanted to do this, and change is not a bad thing, particularly when you're growing, because you might think one thing in the fall and by springtime you're ready to do something else. So I think it's an opportunity for students to be invested in what they're doing, and I think that's what makes the difference.
And I think the gap year programs, really aligning with your interest as a student and making sure you're finding something that's energetically lighting you up, and you're not just doing it because you should be doing it or for a college resume builder. I think that is really the most important. And then spending some time really coming up with a list of things that you want to achieve, and whether that is a language immersion, maybe you want to get better at communication, maybe you want to work on teamwork. All of these types of things, the deeper and more introspective you can get before the gap year, the better that your outcome will be. Making sure that you understand who you're going to be working with on a day-to-day basis, are those people who are going to help you achieve the goals that you've set out, and then really using this time to explore. This is the one time that you don't have to be doing extracurriculars for a resume builder. You can really get into something that you might not have to do in your real life, but you at least explored it and got it out of your system in a way, or realize that it's something you want to dig into more deeply.
Any young adult, know where your embassies are, know what your technology systems are, know what cellular towers exist or don't exist, because if you're used to being connected, some countries you're going to go to, some trips you're going to have a lack of that, and you need to be okay with that.
Well, I think that the mental preparation of gap time is hugely essential to having that successful transformative experience that we all want for our students. And I think that part of that is thinking about what the challenges are going to be on this gap time. It never goes exactly as you think, and that's actually a really good thing, because working through any challenges that emerge really teaches a student a lot about life and how life is a little bit of a rocky road, and that's okay. And it makes them more resilient and gritty, and those kinds of soft skills that you have carry through the rest of your life.